Naruto, the Naruto Ship podcast, is made possible through contributions from listeners like you. To help support the podcast and to earn exclusive rewards, head to www.patreon.com/NarutoPod. That's www.patreon.com/NarutoPod. Believe it!
Hey everyone, this is Naruto Uzumaki, and you're listening to Naruto. Believe it!
Hello everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Naruto, the greatest podcast ever to only be about Naruto. I'm your host, Liam English, and I'm joined by Ali Caruso.
Hey.
That's okay, don't jump on it, just wait.
I forgot.
It took a second.
Yeah, it took a second. Also, Raj.
Just Raj.
Yeah. Oh,
we didn't know his last name. Wait, Malhar?
Malachi.
That's not it.
Yes.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Just Raj. He's like Cher.
Yeah, I'm like Cher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need a last name.
Yeah, I always feel like if I try and pronounce it, it's gonna be racist.
Oh, it definitely is. It's why I cut the eighth name of my name. Now it's just Raj. So
Yeah.
Raja.
For the first 7 episodes of the podcast, we will also be joined by Emma Smith.
Hi.
Emma is transferring schools.
Loser.
Yes.
Breaking my
And we are pre-recording these first 7 episodes, so right now we're like 3-4 months in the past. So one of us could be dead by now.
So sad.
Yeah, well, there probably won't be any more episodes if one of us is dead by now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
If you're hearing this, we're all still alive.
You know what? I'll release it. I'll play it at the funeral. If
No, not mine.
if somebody
You're
dies.
Naruto at my funeral.
We might also call Allie Joshua, which I feel like we should just bring up right now
Yeah.
because it's gonna happen.
Well, Liam, I think you have to explain why we call Ali Joshua.
Right. Well, ultimately, we don't want to waste too much time on this podcast, you know, and
yeah.
it's just faster to say Joshua. I mean, you wouldn't say, "I'm sorry, what was that, Allie?" But you would say, "Huh, Joshua?" That's just a fact.
That's true.
It's just quicker to say.
So, force of habit, she might be Joshua.
Yeah. Okay, so, Naruto. Basically, what we're going to do here is every episode, we're going to watch typically 2 to 3 episodes of
We've watched them already.
Naruto. Yeah. And we're just going to do sort of a summary, sort of talk about it, you know, explore, get right into it.
Jump right in.
Ali and I haven't actually seen. Well, before this, we hadn't seen any Naruto.
We just make fun of it.
Yeah, because all of our friends love it, so we have to
We
make
get
fun of
bullied
it.
sometimes.
Not only have you guys not seen Naruto, to be clear,
Oh.
Emma didn't know what anime was even
At
a
all.
little bit.
Yeah.
Not even.
I thought I did.
Yeah. So we were playing a Dragon Ball video game.
And I was
Fighters.
really good at it.
Yeah,
That needs
you
to
were
be- that
really
needs
good
to
at
be
it.
stressed.
Yeah,
we should
I've
say
never
that.
played video games before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she deserves credit.
But
credit.
there's a bald character, Krillin. Right?
Piccolo.
Either way.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Well, the one
It
that
was somebody.
Allie was calling Caillou.
Oh, that's
No,
Krillin.
that wasn't
I was
Caillou.
calling him.
That's
Oh,
Krillin.
you were
that's
calling
Krillin.
it Caillou.
Right.
Right.
I don't know
So-
who you beat ass with, because Emma beat
Emma
ass
did beat ass with
Piccolo.
Piccolo.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
So there's a bald character, Krillin. Obviously, listeners probably know, but Allie kept calling him Caillou.
Because he's bald, so...
Right. But so we were all joking about that, and then later on in the night, Emma goes, "Guys, we should really start watching anime together. Like, I want to get these references. Who's Caillou?"
And it lasted for a while.
Yeah, right.
Because I really thought that Caillou would be spelled K-A-I-U, you know? I didn't think it was the little Canadian bald guy.
You just looked at the first letter of Krillin, and you were like, "No, that's it."
That has to be it.
Yeah, so there was a moment in the room, and everybody was like, "All right, we're doing this." And for the rest of the night, everybody was like, "Yeah, Caillou, you know, the best anime on PBS."
And then
I
we
didn't
eventually
get it.
brought up the theme song, and it took her halfway
Well,
through.
yeah, but midway through the theme song, she figured it out. She was like, "Wait a sec, this isn't what I thought anime
It
was."
took a bit.
Yeah, so I don't know anything about anime, but now we're learning. So for the first episode of this podcast, Allie and I watched the first episode of Naruto
Yes.
for the first time.
But, okay, we'll get to that later.
yes,
First,
okay, yes.
this podcast, we are only going to be watching the canon episodes of Naruto. So, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
right.
have no clue.
Basically, anime are based on comic books called manga.
Okay.
And the only episodes that are canon, which means, like, actually happened, are the ones that are based on chapters from the manga. But the thing is, manga chapters come out once a week, but anime episodes also come out once a week. So pretty soon, after an anime starts, it catches up to the book.
Oh, so they have to make stuff up?
Right,
after?
yeah. They call it filler.
Oh,
And it's
In
okay.
between or after the story arc's over?
It depends.
Yeah.
Naruto gets pretty bad with its
It
filler.
does.
Right, and so it's usually lower quality. There are some episodes that people say are great, but
some
for
fun
the
ones,
sake
yeah.
of cohesion,
Yeah.
we're just
I get bored, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
You barely watched the first episode.
I woke up at 9 and I was like, I guess I'm doing this. And I laid in my bed and I think I was asleep for like the middle. But it's fine.
No, it was good. Okay. Anyway, I liked it.
Yes.
I enjoyed what I saw.
So
What I saw.
manga comes out weekly, like I said,
Yeah.
in a magazine called Shonen Jump. We're just gonna go through it, because this is all stuff that we might reference. It's a magazine that's been running in Japan since 1968, and then it started in America in 2003, and it came out monthly until 2012. So that's
Okay.
something.
But it's not still going, though.
No,
Like,
well,
2012
no.
stopped.
Sorry, it is still going, but it's all digital now because I
Oh,
guess
okay.
not enough weebs
Digital
in the
age.
world. Yeah.
Some people don't know how to read. I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
Digitally
Oh,
something.
no.
And there have been
College
like,
kid? Really?
well,
You
yeah,
just still have to read if it's digital. It's just on the computer.
well,
No, there's braille
You can figure
screens.
it
You
out,
can just
yeah.
that's what anime's braille screens.
little
I was
bumps on
thinking
the
like
screen.
they'd read it to you, but alright, that works.
Well, that's what anime is for, so you don't have to read.
Yeah.
It's like, even though it's a comic book, it's like still too many words.
Quite a bit.
So in Shonen Jump, there have been like a couple eras of anime. That Dragon Ball game that we played,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball was fucking huge in I think late 70s and all the 80s.
Yeah.
Might have just been the 80s.
Okay.
I don't know.
It
And
was
then-
huge. Still
yeah,
is,
it was. I mean, it still is like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
It was basically what made anime popular over here. And then after Dragon Ball ended, the next era was Naruto and two other manga called One Piece and Bleach.
R.I.P. Bleach.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bleach. It got canceled. It ended very
Tragic.
badly.
Oh,
yeah.
how long did it run for?
Oh, I don't know, like probably a decade,
Yeah,
maybe like
wow.
12
Oh,
years.
shit, man.
Could've
Yeah.
been
To be
that bad.
considered one of the big three.
Yeah, and now Naruto and Bleach have both ended. Only One Piece is still going, so there's a new generation now.
Oh.
And that's sort of how manga and stuff works.
Is
and
Naruto in bleach? His hair's bleached?
I hated that.
yeah, no,
Quite a
it's
bit.
a natural blonde. Wasn't he blonde when he was a baby at the beginning of the episode?
Yeah, he was.
Which
I was
makes
like,
no
oh, that's
sense.
Naruto. See, that's helped me because I knew that was Naruto.
Oh, right.
Right before
Well,
you fell
you think
asleep.
every blonde character is
Is
Naruto.
Naruto.
You're
I think every
Naruto.
bald character's Caillou, okay? So.
I don't think there are any bald characters in this.
Except for
Not in this
Caillou.
episode.
Not in
no.
this episode.
If they
I
kept
would
that.
have woken up. And, like,
Naruto has
full.
full grown hair as a kid.
Yeah,
like
that's
straight up, like
confusing. I
as a
was like-
baby.
Yeah. So, in addition to only watching canon episodes, we are also watching the dub. So, okay. So, anime obviously,
Oh, dub, because sub is when it has the subtitles, and then dub
as
is when
opposed to
it's
dub titles.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. My roommate told me
Dub
that earlier
titles.
today.
So, it's produced in Japan, but some anime have really good dubs, others have terrible ones. But Naruto got picked up for distribution by Cartoon Network. And so,
Really?
yeah. It was on Cartoon Network for
Oh.
pretty much our whole childhoods.
Yeah.
And actually, we'll talk
I
about
missed
that,
that.
next.
I watched Wacky Races. I watched like what else? did they
Maybe
have, like,
you were a big
Scooby-Doo?
fan of Naruto and you just don't know it
I
yet.
don't remember that.
It is
I thought I watched everything on Cartoon Network.
Secret Weave.
Oh, sounds like Emma might be a weeb. But we're watching the dub mostly because that's what I grew up with, and
I don't
It's
know
the right
Japanese.
choice, honestly, for Naruto.
yeah, it's a really high quality dub.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, some people disagree. Some people think that the sub is better, apparently, because you
Yeah.
can like you get the inflection, but you still
Oh,
get
because
the
the
culture of
translation's
it.
lost.
Right,
a bit,
but this dub specifically is
good,
really
yeah.
quite high quality.
Yeah, no, I appreciated it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are some people who are like, only ever the sub. But I mean, so Naruto, yes, it ran on Cartoon Network,
Yes.
which is actually, let's talk, if anybody's, not just Naruto, but any sort of long-form cartoon, have either Allie or
What do you mean
Arthur.
long-formed cartoon?
Arthur the Aardvark.
Yeah.
I mean, like, have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh no,
Really?
Avatar is the blue people to me.
Uncultured.
Yes,
Bring back the blue
That
people.
is awful. That is
Because in my
genuinely
school,
terrible.
all of the kids who watched Avatar with the blue arrow got made fun of.
Me
so
too.
I wasn't gonna watch that.
I was like, no, better not.
fucking.
But then the blue
Christ.
people who watched the blue people one was like, oh, you saw Avatar? It's so
yeah, it was a big thing.
I saw it in IMAX.
That's
to be
like
cool.
the opposite. Like I know no one until I came to like this place that people have seen the Blue Avatar movie. I knew
fuck?
like I knew it was big, but I knew no one who saw
Have
it.
you guys been to Avatar World at Disneyland?
No, it hasn't come out yet.
No, it has.
It has?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
Can
know.
we go?
Yeah,
You
let's,
know when we're not gonna go.
yes, this is Naruto podcast. We'll
But
take
we're only going to that section of the
Yeah.
park, no other.
Well, I mean, we'll take a 5-day vacation, but we'll just go to Avatar Land every
All
day.
5 days, yeah.
That's fine.
So Raj,
Yes.
being that you're the only one who knows anything about
I
Naruto
am
before,
a weeb a bit.
what was your first exposure to it?
Alright, so I have an older brother, and he was always cooler than me at everything, right? Just like, so when Toonami came on and all that shit, he'd be like watching Naruto, and you'd see like Rasengan and like Chidori, and I'm just like, whoa, there were all these
That's why I made fun
amazing colors.
Wow.
Rashinga, what does that mean?
Yeah,
Well,
Actually,
spoiler
that might be
alert.
Japanese or something.
Uh,
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Emma is famously a racist.
Leave me alone.
But yeah, so you see it in
Wait, it's important to know I'm not actually racist. Actually, that's what racist
It's a
people
little
say.
folksy racism.
It's important to know I do have a black friend. I'm not racist.
I would have.
Not right.
I would have voted for Obama a third time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
Gosh,
quote from
everyone's gonna
Emma.
think I'm actually racist.
But besides Naruto, it was also
Rules are
like
followed.
One Piece. You saw Roro Norizuru with the 3 swords, and like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And Sanjay, and he was cool as shit.
These are other shows. You guys don't have to know what this
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
But like all that stuff got you hooked, and then it wasn't until I got a GameCube that like somehow like I was always broke as shit, but I always got games
Yeah,
somehow, and I
that's
got
im-
like Naruto Clash of Ninja.
That's
1.
important to talk about. The video games. Like, I had friends when I was a kid that would also make fun of weebs.
Well, yeah.
But everybody liked the video games.
Everyone did, because they were quality shit, especially like Clash of Ninja 1
yeah,
and 2.
that I did hear about.
I mean, you've
video
seen
games.
Raj. I mean, you've played the Dragon Ball game. They
It was
make
fun.
quality
Yeah,
anime.
It's like the
do.
same. Oh, have you played the one with like DC? It's like the fighter games. Like
Yeah,
DC
yeah.
has that too. Like
Mortal
the fighter
Kombat.
games are fun, you know,
And
and
shit
it just
like
happens
that.
to be
Mortal
a fighter
Kombat.
game
Shout
I
out
don't know
Mortal
the characters
Kombat.
for.
Yeah. So the Naruto video games were actually a pretty huge thing that introduced people to the series.
That's how I learned most of the story.
It is funny though, like how anime makes filler if it gets ahead of the manga.
So does the video games?
Well, sometimes there'll be a character that just got introduced when they started making the game, so they don't know what their powers are yet. So it'll be like the biggest bad in the series, and his special ability will be like a really hard kick because like they don't know what he's gonna do yet. Okay, so because this is the first episode, before we get into the episode summary,
Yes.
we're gonna talk a little bit about the creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto. Born in the Okayama Prefecture, November 8th, 1974, with an identical twin, Seishi Kishimoto. And this is interesting because his twin also grew up to draw manga, and they get criticized all the time for ripping each other off.
Oh, but they're twins, so...
Right, so yeah, they just watched all the same stuff when they were growing up. But
They,
like,
they also have hive mind
Really?
because they're twins.
yes, of course, twins are also connected. The village in Naruto is heavily based on where he grew up, like yeah, and it's that sort of blend of Western and Eastern culture, which Japan was going through during the 70s and 80s. So that's why you
That's
get
cool.
Naruto in sort of an ambiguous time period, because I guess that was sort of what it was like. There was like a
Yeah.
castle in his hometown, which is pretty cool.
What town was it?
Okayama Prefecture. I don't know. That's not a town.
My
that's
dad
a
lives in
prefecture.
Okinawa.
Fuck.
My karate was Okinawa karate when I took karate.
That's cool.
You think Randall took karate?
Oh yeah, Randall definitely took karate.
Do you think
Should
we-
we not name drop your dad on the podcast?
No, it's fine.
Oh, Joshua.
If we're name dropping, do you think we could fight him? Like, do you think honestly you could take Randall?
Oh, is Randall gonna listen to this?
Probably.
I think both of us could take Randall, but
Oh,
I
for
don't know if I
sure.
could one-on-one him.
No, Randall would destroy
What do you,
me.
if Randall listen, Randall, you could take all of us. What do you?
Randall, if you came to this room right now and just beat us up, it'd happen.
All right, I was just sorry. I was looking for Randall. So growing up, Kishimoto was like super into Dragon Ball and Dr. Slump, which is the series that the guy who wrote Dragon Ball wrote before Dragon Ball, and this series called Doraemon, and he drew these characters all the time. Like he'd get in trouble in elementary school for drawing, but
Being a weep.
well, yeah, that's no. In high school, he lost interest of like manga and anime and all that stuff because he was a weeb.
Can you be a weeby for Japanese though? Like, isn't a weeb wanting to be like Japanese? Like, how does that
Oh,
work?
that's actually a good point.
No, because then you're...
Like,
I
you're
don't
just a
know.
dork then, I guess. Like,
No, you know, because a weeb is someone who emulates the Japanese culture.
but if you're
so
Japanese, then
you're an otaku or a
Oh.
neat.
I don't know any of this.
So an otaku is
Weeb.
unfortunately, yeah, an otaku is someone who's just like a hardcore anime fan. Like they get,
Okay.
like they really like anime, they draw it, body pills and all that. It's the fact that they are Japanese is what makes them not a weeb.
Interesting. Okay.
And then a neat
Oh.
is someone who is broke and homeless and
Well,
just stays inside.
The
all
point
day.
is, in high school, Kishimoto like lost interest in all this stuff, so he didn't draw for a while. And it's actually interesting because when you compare him to the guy who draws One Piece and the guy who draws Bleach, his art is a little worse. And it's because he hasn't been drawing his whole life. He was really into baseball and basketball for a long time. and didn't do any of this stuff until he saw a poster for the movie Akira, which I guess you guys wouldn't know, but it came out in what do you think, Raj? Like the 80s or 90s?
Oh, the 80s for sure.
Oh yeah, it must have been, because that's what got him back into drawing.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a really adult movie, even though it's anime.
It's fucking amazing.
Right, and so he saw the poster and he was like, "Oh shit, this can actually be kind of cool."
Okay.
Or lame, weeb shit.
Yeah.
God.
But
whatever
He
people
embraced
want.
the weeb shit though. It's okay.
right, so after he saw that, he decided to go to art college, and he really tried.
Art college.
Oh my god, art school, just like us.
Oh my God.
We go to art college,
Yeah,
by the way.
So he really tried to emulate the art style of Katsuhiro Otomo, who's the guy who drew Akira, and he all through college he tried to get a manga published, which I guess is like the thing you do in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're not a businessman, I don't know Japan. Try
And
not
I'm the racist one. Come on.
Oh yeah, I guess we're all racist.
We're
Oh
all
no.
But
Not racist.
We're not racist.
so he tried to get a samurai manga published for the longest time. But unfortunately, this was at the same time as Blade of the Immortal and Rurouni Kenshin were being published, which are some of the most popular manga of all time, and they're samurai-based. So, he wasn't...
That's Samurai X for you Americans.
Oh, yes, it is Samurai X. I actually have that in the notes, too. Another problem was that he kept submitting to Shonen Jump, but his manga had a seinen feel. So, what's the difference?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shonen is like for young boys. Obviously, you watched Naruto. It's pretty clearly
That's
for young boys.
Okay, because
And
it's like, oh, I'm supposed to
that's
relate
for
to the
young
main
boys?
character, you
Right.
know? The kid with the stripes on his face. That's me.
Where's
Whiskered
Naruto's
kid, yeah, that
jewel
was-
What's up with the
pods?
whiskers?
It's because of the fox thing.
Oh!
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Foxes have whiskers?
I don't know.
I think it's just Fox. Isn't it
Also,
called
there's a
Fox
sequel
Fox?
series called Boruto, which is a dumb name. We don't have
It's
to get
a
into
dumb
it.
name.
It's just
Like I'm bored of Naruto.
Oh, God.
Naruto.
I
guess
hope
if you
not.
watched all 720 episodes to get to the sequel series, you're
Yeah.
probably
Frick.
pretty bored.
720?
But
Is that
his kid
including
has
Shippuden?
whiskers too. Yeah, that's including
Fucking
Shippuden.
Christ.
He has kids? Spoiler.
Oh
Naruto
yeah, I
does?
guess spoiler alert.
He
Well,
doesn't
later,
die,
not in this.
spoilers.
It's okay. Now we know he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, spoilers there.
Show about a dead boy. He dies, second episode. It's okay. We're going to keep the show after him. He was the main character. Don't worry.
So there was a big problem because his manga was too adult, but he started watching anime that were more for kids, and then he emulated their style more, and he managed to get one of his works published as like a young talent finding publishing thing. He won the Hop Step Award for his work Karakuri in 1995. And after that, he was assigned an editor, because I guess that's what happens, so that
Yeah.
you can keep him
Yeah.
on track.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, actually, this guy's really important. Kosuke Yahagi. Obviously, I'm
Yahagi.
mispronouncing everything. Right.
Oh no.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But it's really important because this guy really drove the direction of everything that he wrote. He sort of kept Kishimoto on track. For all of Naruto.
This is the editor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Editors play like a really big role for manga creators, which is interesting. In '97, he wrote the first ever like one shot of Naruto. It wasn't like part of the overall story, but it was a sort of to test the waters, like a pilot episode of
Yeah.
a TV show.
Okay.
But it was really different. In the first, it was like a murder mystery.
Oh, like
What?
Yu-Gi-Oh, right? I think
Oh, my
originally-
roommate loves the murder mystery animes.
Interesting.
Yeah, murder mystery and the romance one, she said. She's like, oh yeah, I love a good sappy romance in anime. I can imagine that, you know?
In the first one, it was like some dude shot a guy and then framed Naruto.
What?
That sounds better. I think I'd like that.
Fuck
better.
I mean, some of those elements do show up in the like.
Yeah,
the
like all the
actual
guns
show.
and murdering
Yeah,
in the first
like,
episode.
Wait, what?
No, not really.
I was like, wait, I fell asleep for that
Joshua?
long.
No, there's
I wasn't asleep. I was just kind of.
You missed the
Oh, okay,
you missed
sure.
the Nazis walking through the village with
Yeah.
the leaves. God.
Yeah, no, there's no guns in the show. He kept them out because he was like, it wouldn't be interesting.
Yeah.
Because you could
Well,
just
ninjas
shoot
don't
them.
use guns.
That's true.
But-
I didn't know that they were
yeah.
ninjas when I first watched it.
Yeah.
I just saw them jumping around. I'm like, oh, I guess that's what they do in this world. Everyone jumps.
Yeah,
World
it's,
is-
It's a movie called Jumper. Honestly, Naruto just took inspiration from that, where they all just jump everywhere they go the whole
That's-
time.
Like, what's that Corbin Blue movie?
Oh, Step In.
Step In.
Oh my God, yes.
It's Naruto Step In.
So Kishimoto got 2 chapters of that other thing that he won the award for, Karakuri. He got 2 chapters published, but the main character was really unlikable, and it got canceled immediately.
Ooh, that's the thing.
It was still in like book form, right, and not like TV.
No,
right.
yeah.
Yes, this is in the magazine, Shonen
Okay.
Jump.
Holding
Okay.
Caulfield. Okay, Holding Caulfield and Catcher in the Rye isn't likable, and yet that's like a hit.
That's true.
So
No, but that's different.
sometimes it works for you.
It's supposed to be like Darwin Be Kid, where like as a kid you think he's the coolest guy ever, and
Oh,
you
I
grow
don't
up and
think
you're
he's
like,
cool.
oh,
Greg
he's an asshole.
Heffley is the coolest kid ever.
Yeah, but now you're older and you're like, wow, he's an asshole.
Now I'm older and I'm like, Roderick was the cool one.
Roderick was the cool one.
Or the mom. I liked her.
And so after that series got canceled, he tried 2 more manga. He had a chapter of Yakuyo or something. Baseball King is what it is in English, because obviously he spent so much time playing baseball and basketball.
Oh, that's
Sports
neat.
animes are popular.
Yeah, this
Sounds
one.
like the worst thing ever.
Really?
No,
Sports anime?
they're all
my
fun.
God, it's everything you love, Joshua. Sports and anime.
You learn about bonding, and I watched one about swimming, and it was the coolest thing ever.
What?
Swimming's not a sport, I guess it is.
Swimming isn't. Okay, I swam for so long. Leave swimming
Yeah,
alone.
2 of
Okay,
us are
but-
swimmers.
Okay, sorry.
That's fucking true.
And he also had a mafia manga called Mario.
Yeah, Jamu.
Oh.
But neither of those went anywhere. And he tried to write a fantasy manga as well called Magic Mushroom.
Oh my god.
But at
That
this
sounds
point,
good.
That sounds amazing.
Magic mushroom.
well,
Mario Magic Mushroom. I
he
sense a
actually
theme.
said that he wants to go back to it. But at this point, we're in 1999, and that's the same year that Harry Potter came out.
Oh.
So his editor was like,
Oh, this.
"Hey,
No
that's
one gives a shit
Not a
about
great
you
idea."
because it's Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
exactly. And so then finally, his editor was like, "Tell you what, give us 3 chapters of Naruto. Try and turn it into a series."
Oh.
And it was like an instant hit.
Fuck.
Wait, this is before they started making it into an anime.
Right. This is just in the magazine.
Okay.
So we're at 1999 here, and he gets the 3 chapters serialized, and it's an instant hit. So it gets picked up. But actually, Harry Potter is kind of an important thing to talk about because they're kind of really similar, and their appeals are kind of for the same reason.
Magic Mushroom or
Welcome
Naruto?
to Liam's video essay about why Harry Potter is similar to Naruto.
Wait, which one's similar? Naruto to Harry Potter? or
Naruto
Magic
and Harry
Mushroom?
Potter, yeah.
Oh, but Magic Mushroom was also the same,
Well,
right?
yeah, but I just mean like thematically, they're really similar. Like the stuff that gives you their appeal.
Oh, wait, when Sasuke and Naruto go in the car and they're flying and the giant the Hokage tree attacks them.
This is the kind of stuff where I'd make fun of it.
That's not real.
That's the Harry Potter.
But no, I think
You
the
got me
biggest
going.
thing is that Kishimoto's editor warned him that it was too Japanese and that American audiences wouldn't be able to relate to it.
Oh.
But Kishimoto was like, no, I really think that we should lean into the Japanese aspect. And so much like how Harry Potter turned England into a magical world for American audiences.
That's true.
Right, exactly,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so neat.
Naruto turned Japan into this magical world for American audiences. So Kishimoto was
that.
smart enough to see that you didn't have to change
That's
it
cool.
because
Good
people
for
would
him, yeah.
fantasize about it.
Yeah.
That's
It's not a
neat.
happy
Yeah, it creates a
fantasy. Everyone's
world.
getting stabbed 24/7.
Oh, yeah, but
yeah.
there's a positive vibe.
I don't know.
I smile
Like,
when
I
I
could be
get
like
stabbed.
Naruto. Wait, is J.K. Rowling from England?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's what she's all about.
Wait, is it J.K. Rowling? Because there's that joke.
I
about-
think it's Rowling.
We should ask him.
I
But there-
think it's she's
You
just
know the
not
joke of like,
talking.
how did Harry Potter get down the hill walking? J.K. Rowling,
Oh, yeah.
right? So that's why I always
Oh,
thought it was
yeah.
J.K.
That
Rowling.
is funny.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think that's right.
I don't know. I'll Google it.
Yeah, it's British though, so
Maybe.
Rowling.
I'll figure it
Row-
out. J.K. Rowling.
like a rolling
The
stone.
unpopular pronunciation.
Just making chit chat.
Just making chit chat.
So in 2002, the manga was adapted into an anime. That's 3 years after it starts.
Okay.
In Japan, they
In
did that?
Japan, yep, by Studio Pierrot. Doesn't matter. Just
it's
a
French.
fun
Oh,
fact.
At this point, had it
Relevant.
spread?
Sounds French, like
has
La
it
Route.
has it gotten big at all?
Well, there were like fan translations in the United States, but what really
Okay.
made it take off was when Shonen Jump came out in 2003, when it started coming out in America.
Oh, okay.
And then in
What's Shonen
2000,
Jump again?
it's the magazine that all the manga comes from.
Oh, in America, though?
In Japan and America, yeah.
Oh, they translated it?
Yeah. And then in 2005, and this is the big boy, Cartoon Network picked it up.
Okay.
Oh,
So
there it is.
then it was like a huge hit.
So
That was
they made the good
2005?
dub then?
yeah.
Shout
yeah.
out Cartoon Network.
Oh, that's why they had the good job then.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
but in 2005, how long was it on Cartoon Network for?
Till 2009.
Oh, then maybe I missed it. I don't know. I didn't watch
I don't
Naruto.
know. I think it was on early in the morning because I remember the
Maybe.
first thing
I would
I ever
wake
saw
up
of
early.
Naruto was I woke up at like 5:30
King
and I
of the
wasn't
Hill
supposed to
hours.
watch TV. Yeah, exactly. King of the Hill.
Yeah, I
hours.
would do that. Except I watched Hercules. That
I watched
early in the
Arthur
morning.
only. So.
Just wait, Hercules like the movie? You
No,
just watched
Hercules.
it
There was
over
a.
and over?
I think there was a cartoon for
Yeah, there
Hercules.
was.
Yeah, I
I think
really,
so.
really strongly remember cartoon Hercules.
I didn't know about any of this business.
Well, that's because you guys were watching
With
Naruto.
Naruto.
That's true.
I was watching
Hercules
Arthur,
and Naruto
so.
are probably not at the same
Me
time.
too, mostly. This was at my grandparents' house, but I saw there's a fight later in the series that's pretty iconic. Rock Lee versus Gaara for
Oh,
the
Rock
listeners.
Lee.
You guys will. Oh, I guess Emma, you won't because you'll be gone.
Loser.
I'll follow it.
episodes.
No, yeah, that would be a good guest episode.
I'll come back for the episode.
It's famous
Maybe on
as
the
like the
weekends.
best fight in the whole series, and it was on Cartoon Network when I was like 6, and I saw it and I was like, oh fuck, I guess I'm a weeb now.
Shit. When did
Said
this
that.
headband get on my forehead?
Well, that, and I have a cousin who's like 6 years older than me, and he had a Naruto, one of the manga books, and I was flipping through it, and there's like a lot of blood in the manga
Ew.
because, well, Kishimoto, like I said,
So I'm not a blood
he was
person.
always writing for an older audience, and that's actually, well, that's what gave Naruto sort of an edge, was that since Kishimoto had always written for an older audience, it was always a little more mature than its contemporaries.
Okay.
Yeah, One Piece doesn't really have that much blood.
Yeah, no,
Come on.
One Piece is a little goofy.
Bleach is just kids
Did
in
he
high
write
school
all
being
three of
angsty.
those?
Sorry?
The same guy wrote all 3 of those?
No.
Oh,
No.
oh, no. Yeah, no.
Okay.
One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto were all in Shonen Jump at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They
I
call them
wasn't
the...
sure they were
3
connected.
titans just around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so till 2009, it's on Cartoon Network, and then Disney picked it up after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
even know
it was
that.
on Disney XD.
What?
Yeah, well, there's
Remember
a...
Definitely
Disney
has that.
XD?
After
remember
Naruto,
Disney
there's a
XD.
time skip.
Zeke and Luther.
Zeke and Luther.
Yes, Zeke and
Puka.
Luther and Naruto Hour. There's a time skip midway through Naruto. They take a 2-year like hiatus from the characters so
Okay.
that everyone can get a little stronger for
Okay.
the bigger bad guys, which is actually a really common thing in manga and anime. I think Dragon Ball might have done it first. I don't know.
The time skip?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. They've done it. a
Everyone
bunch.
does it now.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Balls. Ah, yes.
Balls of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Which, they're not wrong. It is about the balls of a dragon.
Well, yeah. So till 2014, it's on Disney, and then in 2014, Cartoon Network Adult Swim picks it up. So it's on at nighttime now.
Adult Swim?
Do you not know what that is?
No.
Interesting.
Should I?
Oh,
What is
that's
that?
fun.
Robot
basically-
Chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never watched
you-
Robot Chicken. Isn't that the one with like
uh,
Seth, one of the Seths?
Seth Green.
Not Seth Green, not Seth Rogen, not Seth MacFarlane.
Myers. Or
Adult
Myers.
Swim was the more mature version of late night Cartoon Network. So it picked up
Okay.
stuff like Robot Chicken, China Illinois, Super Jail, and it had a block on a programming block on Saturdays called Toonami.
Oh.
Which are you gonna go into?
Well,
that?
it's hugely important because
Yeah.
it distributed anime to everybody.
It brought us
Well, yeah, if
Cowboy
it was on
Bebop
Cartoon Network
and
and
stuff.
like
Okay.
Disney and Adult Swim, that makes sense. It's really popular.
Yeah,
That's where everyone
Naruto,
sees
and
it,
this
like-
is important before we get into the episode that we watched. Naruto was fucking huge for a
Yeah.
while. I mean, like, a ton of kids that I knew watched it, and I'm
Same.
not talking weeby kids. I'm talking
It's
like
because
straight up
I never even heard of it until I.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Pretty much until I got to college.
that's
Really,
so
like.
weird.
That is weird.
I knew anime was a thing, and I'd heard about Dragon Ball Z because there were a couple of kids from like the nearby like slum town that were talking about it.
I'm from one of those slum towns, and everyone knew like Naruto and Dragon Ball.
But yeah,
so
because I was from
Sure,
the
I'm from
little.
a bad neighborhood too.
I was from the little elite section of town where I didn't even allow myself to watch SpongeBob because
Why
I
are
thought it
you
was
racist?
below me.
Well, that's actually an interesting point. As you guys saw in the first episode,
Yeah.
Naruto's dealing with a world where everybody hates him for systemic issues that he doesn't understand.
Because he's a fox.
Well, sort of.
He
But,
has whiskers. Like, ew.
but as you can imagine, if you were... I mean, that's why anime is hugely popular with minorities. That's a big part of it because imagine, like a lot of minority people live in a world where everybody hates them.
That is true.
You know? Yeah,
I'm a
exactly.
minority,
Exactly.
so I can say that. Yeah.
And so Naruto's going through a really similar thing
I'd agree.
in that the whole world is against him, and he's
I
just...
was gonna say, but he's white, but he's not
He's
really.
not.
He's
I
Japanese.
guess he would be Japanese.
He looks white. Like
Everybody in anime
well,
looks white.
It's the
he
blonde
looks
hair.
like you. I mean,
I want to say it's the blonde hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about anime is when they make a person of color, they really make him a person. Like, they exaggerate everything about them, and it's
Really?
Yeah, I don't think there are
awful.
black people in Japan, so they sort of just base it off the racist Disney cartoons.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there isn't a
That's
black
really
character in Naruto till, like hundreds of episodes later.
Yeah, Emma, you will never see a black character. Don't worry, Emma. You'll
I'm
never
gonna
see...
watch hundreds of episodes.
Oh, come on, mate.
Hundreds.
Hundreds, yeah. You just played one of the games.
But before that,
720, Allie, you ready?
it's not because we're only watching canon episodes.
Oh, we're
Which is
right.
about 600.
Yeah,
yeah, I
no,
was
no.
gonna say.
Honestly, there's like 300 episodes of filler.
300.
That's
A
nuts.
filler. So I still have to watch.
That's the
400.
420
Come on,
episodes.
don't think about it. But before any of those episodes,
Oh, I gotta transfer too.
And it'll just be Liam and Raj mumbling about their weakness.
That's why I need you to.
Sharingan,
exactly.
That's why we
Talking-
have to be here.
Yeah, we'd just be talking in
Because you
Japanese.
have to dumb it down for us, which is.
That's true.
Well, no, also, you guys expand the audience from just like a cave from Reddit
Yeah.
to maybe normal people.
Shh, don't call them out. I came from Reddit and Rachel.
But before any of those episodes, we have to talk about episode 1. We open outside Konoha, the village hidden in the leaves, under attack from a vicious spirit, the nine-tailed fox.
Interesting.
I remember that.
Yeah, well,
I'll try to.
Sleep. It was a
No,
nail
I
biter.
wasn't
There was
asleep.
plot twist after
I
plot
know
twist.
that I was
Yeah.
awake, but at one point I got the first part, and then suddenly it was the end, and I was like, "What just happened? Why are there thousands
Joshua went to
of
go
Narutos?"
fight the Nine Tails.
well, the fight with the Nine-Tails is not going good
Not at
until
all.
the leader of the village, the 4th Hokage.
He was the leader?
Yeah,
think they said that.
They just said he was like the greatest shinobi.
Yeah, they
Oh,
said
yeah.
he was the strongest, but I
That's
thought that
what-
was like he proved
Yeah.
I was
himself
thinking
right
greatest
there.
showman. That was.
It's like the president of the Leaf Village.
Yeah, Hokage
Okay.
is the strongest.
Wait,
Wait, the whole time that I've known you, you say Hokage. I always thought it was Hulk Hage, like the Hulk.
Hogan.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought they were the same thing. I don't know what Hulk,
Hulk
Hogan
Hogan
is.
and
Wow.
Hokage.
I don't know.
ask questions.
Okay, I don't know what Hulk Hogan is, and I thought they were the same thing until I saw it written out because I watched everything with subtitles.
Right.
Son's a
And I
WWE
thought that
wrestler.
I was like, oh, that's what they're saying.
No, Hokage
weird.
is the leader of a village.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the 4th Hokage comes out on a badass giant frog.
Oh yeah, that was a frog.
That was cool.
An
We-
orange
yeah, right.
frog.
We comes to whose frog that is, or whose it becomes.
I think the best animated thing in that whole episode was the frog's tongue when it licked its lips. I remember thinking, that's weird.
Why am I turned on?
Oh no.
So the 4th Hokage sacrifices his life to stop the nine-tailed fox demon by sealing it inside an infant child. That infant child
That-
being
Naruto.
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 For our French listeners.
Who's are all speaking French?
Yeah.
Oui, baguette.
Oui, oui.
Oh wait, favorite French words. Ready? Zutala.
Oh god,
It's like
is this
damn.
racist?
No,
Omelette-
no.
omelette
Oh
du
my God.
fromage.
It means like damn or frick. Zutala.
Frick.
No, I know French people are white. I was scared that Emma was saying racial slurs in French.
Oh
She's racist
no. Wait, try
in
it
all
together,
languages.
everybody.
Zutala.
Zutala.
Okay, not everybody.
No, okay, just me and
No
me and-
weebs.
Omelette du fromage.
No weebs allowed.
Just me and Joshua.
Let's say it in Japanese.
Weeb weeb.
Weeb baguette.
Anyway.
So we flash forward 12 years to Naruto, obviously as a 12-year-old, and he's
Ninja 6th grade.
he's also a bit of a piece of shit.
He's an asshole. A total brat.
Yeah.
He's painting the faces of
Yeah.
like, basically Mount Rushmore.
That's basically right.
Exactly, the Hokage
Yeah.
rock
Oh,
is
Rushmore, that's interesting.
it's
I think there were 4 faces too. So it is
Yeah.
Mount
There are,
Rushmore.
4 Hokages.
right. Although
For Hulk
Technically.
Hogan.
for Hulk
For
Hogan,
Hulk
What is
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan?
he's
He's
a wrestler
a wrestler.
from like the 70s and 80s.
Wow,
Yeah.
look at you picking up on wrestling before you're picking up on
He's
anime.
canceled
I
though. We
just
can't
heard the
talk
name,
about him.
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
He said the N-word.
He said the N word pretty
In
proudly.
a sex tape.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
It makes me
crazy.
choke on
There's
water.
a sex tape of him, and no, it's after he has sex in the sex tape. He sits on the edge of the bed with all his fat hanging out, and he's like, "Yeah, my daughter's dating an N-word." And then he goes, and this is my favorite part. He goes, "I shouldn't have eaten sushi today. I feel pretty bloated." In the sex tape.
It's real.
Why?
That's so funny.
Oh, it was.
I kind of want to see that.
It's
Not
a
the sex part, just
I don't
that.
want to see any of it.
It was him having sex with his friend's wife.
Oh, that's
But
weird.
it's
It
kind
gets
of
worse.
Yeah, his friend, whose name is who's an adult man,
Yeah.
whose name is Bubba the Love Sponge.
Is he a wrestler?
I don't know.
Like, maybe that's his wrestler name. Actually, that's a bad
It's-
wrestler name.
If my parents named me Bubba the Love Sponge, I'd straight up cry every day.
Is that your last name?
What's the first name? What's the last name? Raj.
It's Raj, Bubba the Love Sponge, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
So, what I think is really funny is that when the ninja who are chasing Naruto to get him for painting on the faces of the guys,
Yes.
they tell the 3rd Hokage, who's now in charge, that Naruto's done it again.
So are they all called Hulk Hogan?
Naruto, yes.
Hokage?
Yeah.
The Hokage is the leader of the village. And
Well,
so,
why are there 4 of them? They all lead or what?
well, no, it's having gone through time.
Oh,
so
it's only ever been 4.
Right. So 12 years before we start, the 4th Hokage has been recently named
Okay.
leader of the village, but because he died in that attack.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh shit! Was that a spoiler?
No,
oh,
he
it's
died.
in
No,
the
no,
sacrifice
he's
of life.
straight up dead. Yeah, that's
yeah,
why
I
they.
didn't know.
Isn't the sensei? Isn't that his son? The sensei's
But
the son
Naruto
of
is
the one who died?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Then his parents died.
Aruka is who you're talking about.
Right.
Oh yeah, he was like, oh, my mom and dad are
Aruka
fighting. And I was
sensei.
like,
Yeah,
I
Aruka
felt that.
Sensei.
I was like, oh, was he the head guy on the
Nah.
front?
No. But the fourth had just been elected, but since
Okay.
he died, or elected, I don't know, appointed, whatever.
Man,
How
they
do
have
they appoint
democracy.
Hokages? Is it a
I think it's
dictatorship?
just the strongest one around.
Do they have to
That
like,
guy-
beat?
Hulk Hogan.
They gotta beat everyone in the
Hulk Hogan
village's
would be a
ass.
great Hokage.
Hell yeah,
Change his name,
brother.
he just beat
And
him.
I don't think there's any black people in the village,
There's
so
not.
he'd be fine with it.
Yeah. You're gonna
His
get
daughter
some
would be
shade.
safe.
So the third sort of reverted to being the leader. And
Okay.
when the
Oh.
ninja tell him that Naruto defaced the rocks,
He
he's
goes,
like,
it better not be Naruto.
Better not be Naruto.
That was right away.
Don't
It's
tell
like,
me it's Naruto.
don't even start with this shit again.
He's just trying to paint. He's having a good time.
Yeah, he's an artist. Leave him
He goes
be.
to art. So the ninja chasing Naruto, and Naruto manages to escape from them by holding up a piece of paper that looks like the wall.
Yeah,
Classic
what's with that? I
ninja
could have
move.
sworn he ran by.
You see him run by, and then he just thinks that he's eluded these ninja until his sensei comes and really.
His personal sensei?
No, the sensei who runs
this
the.
is
The only
what you
person
fell
who's
asleep,
not
didn't ya?
bullying the guy.
No. I was awake until he was a little like weird little clone thing on the ground, and then I woke up. Not woke up.
you
Again,
didn't
I
get-
wasn't asleep. I came back later, so. I
Right.
don't know.
No, this is the sensei in charge of the sort of ninja academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's where we go next. Back to, it turns out that all of these ninja kids are learning to be grown-up ninja. And because, yes.
Yeah, what's the plural of ninja?
Ninja.
Ninja.
What's the
you keep
plural? What's the
Shinobis?
plural of cul-de-sacs? Is cul-de-sac.
Not cul-de-sacs, but
Cul-de-sac.
I used that the other day.
Really?
In a sentence.
Why were you talking about
I
cul-de-sac?
was flying over like
I don't like
Connecticut,
that.
and there was a lot of
Local
cul-de-sac.
cul-de-sac.
And my dad was like, "What?"
I know, it's like if the plural of balloon was balzoon.
I don't like that. Balzoon.
I fucking hate that.
Miserable.
But you didn't say
You're
like she had
balzoon.
she
Happy
had like
birthday.
a bunch of balzoon. Like it's like
Yes, it's miserable. So,
Never heard a word
I
described as
haven't
miserable.
seen the original Naruto in so long, so the first thing I picked up is I hate Aruka Sensei's voice actor.
really?
It's so
Is
weird.
it the same voice actor the entire time?
I can't tell you personally, but all
It
I know
is,
is
yeah.
that when he spoke, he was like you remember we watched the Abridged series?
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to parody the parody of his voice. He's like, "Hey Naruto, let's go back to the village, like you little shit." It's like, what are you doing? It's so weird.
Well, they go back to ninja school, and because Naruto fucking painted all these faces, the whole class has to review the transformation jutsu.
Which is his worst one.
yeah. He's
no.
bad at that.
No. The transformation one, he's
The
well.
cloning
Oh,
one
the
he's bad at.
transformation one's the one where he becomes a pretty lady.
Yes,
yes.
so-
Oh, yeah.
He calls it like a sexy something or other.
Well,
Yeah,
so the
that's
first person to go up to transform
control.
is Sakura, that pink-haired girl.
Yeah.
hated
who-
her
And
already.
she's all bubbly and like she's like the Princess Bubblegum of
30
anime.
seconds on
Yeah,
screen,
yeah.
already garbage.
Well, she's Princess Bubblegum at first, and then we get that sort of inner Sakura,
Yeah.
who's like, "Yeah, I kicked butt."
You see
Yeah.
that Sasuke? Yeah, Sasuke.
Yeah, she
like-
immediately asks if Sasuke saw
And she
her.
wanted approval. And then Sasuke came up like,
My fucking king, the Edge Lord himself.
Sasuke?
Scary.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just
is
like,
Sasuke her love interest?
well, technically,
We'll get into it, but
yeah.
Okay.
But he doesn't feel the
but
same.
he fucking
There's romance in this.
Oh,
bit.
thank God.
It's a whole dating simulator,
a little bit
basically.
of love, a little bit of drama.
It's like Persona, where it's about
I can live
ninja
with that.
school
It's
before.
gotta be a
the
little bit of
ninja
love
war.
in between
Yeah.
the punches, you know?
So
The headbands.
Sasuke heads up and transforms before Iruka says go.
Yeah.
And then he's such a bitch. He doesn't say anything.
He's such
just
an
like,
edge lord.
Yeah, say hi to Princess Bubblegum.
No, but it's weird because we just get thrown into that scene. Like they don't explain any. Like we don't know that Ino's there or Shikamaru's there. Just like, come on, Naruto.
Yes,
It's like who
those
the
are the
fuck
kids
are
that
yelling
are
at him?
behind Naruto, and they're like, "Naruto, you're such a piece of shit. You always make us have all this extra work."
Yeah.
It's like who are these
I was
kids
like,
yelling
"Go
at him?
Pluto."
Yeah.
He is the worst.
So Naruto goes up. Actually, he catches some heavy eyes from one of the girls in the class.
Hinata.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed
No,
that
the
too.
girl's like, "Oh, Naruto, I hope you do a good
Oh,
job."
yeah!
She's like,
Yeah.
like straight
Oh, no,
up
no, yeah.
loving this guy.
Yeah. And he
He's
Which was
lovable.
so out of place, you know? Because
It did
everybody
seem
else was
very
hating on him.
weird.
Because he's the worst.
It is the worst.
But he does not
No.
transform into
He
Iruka
reminds me
Sensei.
of my brother.
I wrote Hinata wants a Uzumaki in my notes.
She really does.
She really does.
But Naruto does not transform into Iruka. He transforms into a sexy lady with his sexy jutsu,
Sexy
which causes
jutsu.
Iruka to fly back with a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Veruca? It was Veruca salt.
No, not Veruca.
Veruca.
In a room
Veruca
full
flew back.
with 12-year-olds, the last thing you want is an erection. honestly.
That's
Oh,
rough.
that's,
Wait, whoa.
that's why the sensei was so scared. He was like, fuck, I'm canceled. So we cut to after school, and Iruka is making Naruto scrub off the faces of the Hokage.
Yeah, but then he like goes easy on him and he's
Well,
like, hey.
exactly. Iruka's like,
Let's get ramen. I was like,
whoa, 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 hold on. Because Iruka's like, you can't go home until you're done. And Naruto's like, doesn't matter. I don't have any parents.
I know.
I'm all alone in
Wait,
this
where are
world.
his parents?
They're dead.
Presumably they died when the Nine-Tailed Fox
Oh, okay.
attacked.
Presumably.
Wait, how long ago was that?
12
12
years.
years.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
right.
a lot of people die? Like, was that like a big
Oh,
Yeah.
a fuck ton of people died.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was only 12 years ago. Oh, so he's 12.
Right.
Yeah.
So Iruka's pretty sympathetic, and yes, they go out for
Where does
ramen.
Naruto live?
Haruka.
Wait, I wanna make a strong note here that at 5:29 exactly, he drops the first "believe it," and that is the most important thing to
Well,
the
people
show.
say that Naruto's catchphrase is "believe it."
And it is, because he yells it every other time. Like, after that, he drops it 40 times later in the episode.
Where does
The
Naruto
same
live?
episode, he says, believe it.
Believe it.
Naruto lives in the
About
village hidden in the leaves.
It's like his thing,
With
you know?
who? I know.
But what is he saying, believe it
Oh,
about?
like what's his house?
He's in his parents. So like,
Yeah, actually, that's a question I've had since I started watching Naruto. Is how the fuck did he grow up without parents? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Jiraiya took care
like no
of
one
him.
took him in then, right?
Not
Like,
Jiraiya.
I don't know.
Not
Who's
that
that? What's the
mention.
third Hokage's name?
Yeah, it could have
Big
been the
stick man.
Hokage. He probably helped or something, or Iruka maybe. I don't know.
His dad
There
probably
could be an
chill with him.
orphanage,
It could be an
right? Is that a
orphanage.
thing?
Could
If
be.
a lot of people's parents died, then maybe.
I honestly don't know. He lives alone now. We'll see that in a later episode.
So sad.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was sad.
at dinner, Naruto explains why he defaced the rock faces because
Because he's gonna be the best.
Exactly.
He's like, I want another bowl.
No, that came after Joshua.
Oh, sorry.
I want more food. That's why I defaced
No,
him.
because he asked for the headband, and then he's like, no, you don't get the headband. He
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
fine. Then I want more ramen.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Right.
Didn't he say I want another bowl? Is that
Probably
right?
yes. But
That woke me up. I was like, oh yes.
oh, what a bitch.
I hate this guy.
But yeah, Naruto, his goal for the sort of the series is that he wants to become Hokage. He wants to become the greatest Hokage
Okay. Oh right. Yeah.
that there's ever been. So the next day, it's the graduation exam at the ninja school, which Naruto has failed twice already.
Wife.
Oh, he just wants to graduate.
It is kind of sad. What a
Yeah,
Because
loser.
he doesn't have a good parental figure.
Oh,
Or
really?
personality.
Wow.
The worst.
He's just an asshole.
But the graduation exam is on the cloning technique, which is Naruto's
Worst.
That's
worst technique,
Yeah.
and like to
Yes.
remind you, it's his worst technique.
Yeah, well, he goes in there and he fucking makes a clone and it looks like it's dead.
Haruka calls it pitiful. It's so sad.
does
He's
call
like,
it
he's like, it's
pitiful.
pathetic.
Wait, so what was the gray-haired guy doing there?
Oh yeah.
He's, I don't know, like a teacher's assistant or
Yeah.
Oh,
something.
just like
He's a
watching
TA.
the exam.
Mizuki.
I'd be evil if I was a TA too.
Well, yeah, so Naruto goes in for the exam and it's Iruka and Mizuki. And after Iruka fails Naruto because he fucking sucks, Mizuki's like, oh, come on, he's failed twice, let's cut him some
Oh
slack.
yeah. I was like,
That's not how that works. But that's not
But
how that
Iruka
works.
cares,
Yeah,
man.
but he
Exactly.
was like, he really wants to be a ninja, and I was like,
You don't get something just because you want it, Naruto,
Yeah.
okay?
Damn.
It's true. That's
That's
the
the
life
real world.
of no talk.
Well, Naruto's not made a ninja, and he goes outside, and all the kids are celebrating with
he's
their
on the
family.
swing, right?
He's
Yeah,
on the
and
swing
he
set.
sits on the swing.
And the
Legendary,
swing's so weird. He was riding it like it's like a horse.
Legendary
Like, just sitting it like it's
sad
a
swing
swing.
sweat.
Are you serious?
That way he can look at all of his not
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Just turn your head.
And
Like, he
then
sucks.
two bitches.
That was awful.
Yeah, they go
Yeah.
over just to be like, isn't he the kid with the, yeah, but don't talk about it.
Yeah, are we supposed to know those
Foreshadowing.
characters later on?
No,
they're
no.
Wait,
just-
what were they making fun of him that he failed?
They were saying it's a good thing he didn't become a ninja because he has the fox spirit.
Oh, everyone knows.
Everyone except for Naruto.
We'll get there.
Right, well, actually...
It's like that movie with the dome and everyone's watching him.
oh,
Truman
Truman
Show.
Show.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
I
foxes
haven't
and whiskers.
seen that. I
You
want
should.
to see
It's a
that.
great movie.
The third Hokage then talks to Iruka about why he's being so hard on Naruto, and we learned that Iruka's parents died 12 years ago.
Was he the one who was getting dragged off? And was
Yeah.
Like, my parents are
Yes, exactly.
My parents are still
And
fighting.
so he knows what it's like to grow up without parents, and he knows that Naruto needs some structure.
Yeah.
And that's why he's being so hard on him.
Okay.
Mizuki, on the other hand...
Mizuki's
Just
the
like
worst.
He looked like an asshole.
Yeah,
from the
Mizuki
start.
pulls
I
up
was
on Naruto.
So surprised when he was evil.
Yeah, and he's like, hey,
Yeah.
I have a way for you to become a better ninja. There's
That
this-
was weird.
there's
Chris
this-
Hansen runs through
Right,
the door.
Yeah, you know that's a little sus.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Naruto.
like, don't get in the car. Don't get in the car.
I'll make you a ninja if you do that sexy jutsu one more time. And Mizuki tells him about a secret scroll that if he steals and learns from, he'll be made a ninja.
It had teachings from the first Hokage.
Right, yeah, it's a real secret scroll. So when Naruto steals it, Mizuki tells everybody about it.
He snitches hardcore.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he works the village into a frenzy, and then it's revealed that his plan is to kill Naruto.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yes.
This is the part I was kind of
So
out,
that
but I
he
remember
can-
that.
But that makes no sense. To kill Naruto and take the scroll?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
still
that
gonna
did
find
make
the
sense,
scroll.
yeah.
Like,
Wait, couldn't he have taken the scroll without Naruto?
Yeah.
Why did he need Naruto? to
because
get
he
the scroll?
wants
'Cause
to
the
eliminate
kid
Naruto.
can get the scroll. The kid who isn't even a ninja can't
kid who
you
sucks.
get a scroll?
That's a good point. Did we see him steal the scroll in this episode?
Not think so.
Wait.
We didn't watch Naruto steal the scroll.
Because in the manga, at the very least, he goes to steal the scroll, and the third Hokage catches him,
Who?
and then he does
Naruto?
catches Naruto, and Naruto does the sexy jutsu, which knocks out the third Hokage.
Oh.
We don't see that.
Why does it knock him out?
But
It's too sexy.
the gray-haired
Old
guy,
guys
I
in
mean,
anime.
if he's gonna kill Naruto and run away with the scroll, eventually people are gonna realize, oh, he's gone, and Naruto's dead, and the scroll's gone.
Yeah, like this.
Okay, you were bad to begin with.
Yeah,
so
look-
what's he trying to preserve? You know, if it's his reputation.
It's not a
like-
great plan. But Iruka manages to find Naruto first, and instead of being like ashamed or anything, Naruto's really proud.
Yeah.
Because he really thought that like this was gonna make him a ninja.
Yeah.
It was a big scroll. I was
Like, you found me. Shit.
Bigger than the one in Kung Fu Panda.
Right.
There's a
but-
scroll in Kung Fu Panda. It's tinier.
And Naruto doesn't get what's going on. He's like, yeah, Mizuki told me that if I came out here and practiced, I'd be a ninja and it'd be all
You
good.
told me to do that sexy jutsu. It'd be fine. No, I just have to stand there for 30 minutes with my eyes closed.
My eyes closed.
And then before Iruka can sort of do anything about it, Mizuki appears.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he tells Naruto that the fox spirit is sealed inside him, which Naruto has never heard
Why
before.
did he tell him that? Just for fun?
To piss him
No,
off.
yeah, to sort
Waiting
of,
for the right moment? Oh.
yeah, to really twist the knife
Okay.
and drive between Iruka and Naruto.
They said
Yeah,
the word
okay.
decree a
But,
lot.
okay, at the same time, you know, did you ever see Man of Steel, the Superman
Yeah,
movie?
I have.
No.
You know how when they were fighting, like, they could have just killed each other off, but they would, like, talk and walk forward. And I get, like, you don't kick a man while he's down, right? But you could have finished the job, like, 30 minutes
Finish
ago in
him.
this movie, but he just walks forward and tells him his entire evil plan. Like, dude, he's gonna take the
Mizuki
information about
definitely
this.
didn't think any of this through.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
but
bad
I mean,
plan.
yeah, but still though, like it was a flashback to Man of Steel. Like that was a bad movie.
Comparing Man of Steel to Naruto.
Because he's like, here's everything,
Well,
and now you know it all.
it
Now
is-
you're gonna rise up against me. Now there's a fair chance.
That sounds like a character in
That-
Naruto.
It
That
is
sounds like-
interesting that it was decreed 12 years ago that nobody talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
Censorship's real.
well, no, it's so that the kids won't hate Naruto like all the grown-ups do.
Well-
because they won't know
But he
about
has
the
whiskers.
fox.
Of course they're gonna make fun of him. Like,
Oh, that's a good point.
It's not because of the fox. He's just ugly.
Yeah, well, they
Wow.
can bully him for I mean, he's kind of a bitch, too.
Yeah, no, they also like, no, that's fair game. You know, he's just
right,
an
right,
asshole.
yeah.
So, Mizuki moves in for the kill. He throws a giant ninja
Star.
star.
A
Biggest
giant ninja star.
Fucking
Yeah.
shurikens of
Yeah, and
my life.
Iruka, bam, jumps in front of it and takes the star
I
in
thought
the
he was
back.
dead.
As an like
I
as,
missed all
as
that.
a
Wouldn't he be
ninja,
dead?
he should have like kicked that
I
shit
literally,
or
the
something.
last thing I
Yeah.
remember is him with the
Or gotten
giant
Naruto out of
scroll,
the
and I was
way.
like, that. How
Yeah,
did he
the
even
alley.
lift that?
No, Iruka jumps in front, and because he can relate to Naruto acting out and all this stuff, because Iruka did that when he was a kid, because he didn't get any attention from
Right,
his
which he
parents.
tells him then, which is the same thing as the whole evil plan thing. Like, the gray-haired guy's right there. He's gonna kill you. Stop talking about how hard you had it.
So Naruto runs away. He's all conflicted and shit and upset. And it's a really weird scene. We see Naruto. He's like frog hopping.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I know.
I
Yeah,
thought
he's
the fox
frog
was
hopping.
coming out in him.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I
he
thought
got
was
really
becoming
pissed.
a fox.
No, he's just doing a weird.
Wait, no,
frog
when he
jump.
was frog hopping,
Yeah.
that wasn't
Else would
him.
you frog
Right.
jump?
Oh yeah. So we find out Iruka catches up to Naruto doing the frog hop. They're both frog hopping together.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, Naruto, throw me the scroll." And Naruto fucking bodies
The
him.
Jamuk. Oh, just fucking snaps.
Because that is not Iruka. That's Mizuki using that transformation jutsu from earlier.
Oh shit.
And
You don't know any of
I
that.
don't remember that at all.
and Mizuki's like, "What the fuck, Naruto? You're supposed to be an idiot. How'd you know I wasn't Iruka?" And then that Naruto transforms
Because I'm a
because it was
Ruka.
Iruka.
Oh shit.
So
Which
they
is one of the
sorta-
coolest, most nerd moments. Like,
Where's Naruto then?
Well, Naruto's like behind a tree,
just
close
crying.
by. And
Yeah, he was.
Being a
Mizuki
bitch.
I know
unleashes
he cries
another
later.
evil speech. He's like, Naruto, he's the beast. He killed your parents. You must hate him.
But then Aruga like agrees
Yeah,
for a
he's
second,
like-
and Naruto's like, gotta kill Aruga.
Yeah, the beast is evil, but Naruto's not. He's his own kid.
Okay.
And we cut to Naruto sobbing. And I'll be honest with you, man.
I cried.
I teared up a
I
little
teared
bit.
up in my common room. I was like, no, get away from me, guys. Don't look at me.
Oh, god damn. Because, like, that's the first time anyone's ever stood up for Naruto.
In 12 years, that kid has not had one friend. It's crazy.
Yeah. So Iruka defends Naruto. He stands up for him. The battle music kicks in, which is the most badass shit.
That shit.
Yeah. And Naruto jumps out and kicks Mizuki before he can kill Iruka.
Yeah.
And then it...
Wait, what does Mizuki want? What is the goal for
The scroll.
Okay.
Because the scroll has all sorts of
I
hidden
just don't get why
jutsu
he
in
didn't
it.
just take it.
And that would make him the greatest ninja of all time, right?
Oh, so he
Yeah.
could be Hulk
No,
Hogan.
it's make him the greatest thief of all time. You still have to like sit down and learn that.
Right, but he has the opportunity to be the greatest.
And it doesn't take that long to learn because it turns out that Naruto has already learned the first technique from inside the scroll, which is an advanced version of the clone jutsu that he couldn't do
Multi-clone
earlier.
yeah.
jutsu.
Yeah, and he's like, yo, I learned the first technique. And he makes fucking 1,000
That's when I
Narutos.
woke up and was like, what?
And he was like, leave my friend Veruca Salt alone!
And they just didn't want to animate 1,000 guys beating up one
Yeah, they
dude.
sort of pan
It's
up
pan
as you
up.
hear Mizuki getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, and you just see the punches, yeah.
So,
You get the cartoon like boing.
Yeah, I was waiting for like the Star Wars noise where they go,
the Wilhelm scream.
yeah.
so Mizuki gets the shit beat out of him, and Iruka's like, yeah, nice job, Naruto. Close your eyes for a second. Naruto closes his eyes.
Chris Hansen comes to the door again.
Yeah, Naruto, close your eyes and do the sexy jutsu. But no, he closes his eyes, and when he opens them, Iruka's not wearing his headband because he's tied it around Naruto's forehead.
He didn't feel that?
But
I
it's
don't know.
weird because like it becomes day right after. So how long has Naruto closed his eyes for?
He went to sleep.
He like legitimately like they
Look, he's
took
probably
out.
tired.
He made 1,000 of himself.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
And so the episode ends with them, they're gonna go get ramen to celebrate.
Again.
Naruto ugly
They eat
cries
too much
hard.
ramen.
Yeah, Naruto really likes ramen, man.
Ramen's
I mean-
delicious. Have you had ramen?
We just had ramen.
No, but that was bad ramen. I mean, it was good for a dining hall, but it was
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, if you were
ramen.
frog
yeah.
hopping in trees too, you'd be hungry as shit all
He
the
wasn't.
time.
frog
He was
hopping.
just crying like a bitch.
yeah.
I mean, they just do like hell. I mean, crying takes a lot of energy
That's true.
too.
It's
That's
exhausting.
fair.
And he
actually.
ugly cried. If you like really pay attention, he was like a fucking gross like maniac when he was crying.
Why did they frog hop though?
I don't know,
Like
man.
really, that's why I was like, oh.
Well,
he's the
have you ever
fox.
jumped from tree to tree?
No.
No, but you don't run by frog because we've watched them run and like because when they were chasing after Naruto,
Oh,
he
yeah, they
didn't
were
frog
running
hop.
like
They
the
hop,
legendary
hop, or
Naruto
they
run?
ran.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I knew about the Naruto run.
Because you bully kids for
Wait, like
bully.
in middle school, I knew that, but
Wait,
I didn't know what it was.
What is
Like,
that? Oh,
It's them
this?
sticking their hands out
Oh my
behind
gosh,
them,
I
yeah.
can't
this kid in my elementary school, he did that. And we bullied the shit out of him for it.
The
So
thing where you put your hands behind your body
yeah,
and you lean
and
forward.
we
Yeah.
called he had like a power up stump that he would like power up
Oh,
on. Like,
that's
my
too
gosh.
much.
Alright, yeah, that's a
Wait.
weeb.
Yeah, that's a weeb. I Naruto ran for a bit. I thought it was cool as fuck.
All the freshmen in my high school used to do that, but I thought that was just like a freshman thing I didn't get. I was like,
That's
Well, now you get
they're
it.
forming a union. Like,
There's probably
they
that
have
too.
a
That's a
system.
freshman thing.
Naruto runners unite. They all just start like.
But I guess in
man.
that case, a lot of people in my little elite section of town,
Yeah,
they all
that's
do
what elite,
Naruto too.
Also,
So yeah, the episode ends with Naruto becoming a ninja.
yeah.
So-
congrats,
All right.
Naruto. Woo!
Says who though? Like,
Iruka.
Yeah,
He's
he
in
can-
charge.
oh,
Yeah,
he
he's
can
in
do
charge
that?
of the school.
And he
so.
gave him the headband.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Probably all sweaty.
so
Covered in blood, probably.
what did Raj? You've seen this before, but what did you two think?
Joshua?
Like, what's the take?
Joshua.
I thought it. Well, okay. I don't understand. Like, I never understood what Naruto was. Like, I didn't know it was like a story. It was just a lot of fighting. I don't know. And I've heard a lot of like names and stuff from you guys, so I kind of was able to be like, oh, I know a little bit. Like,
Oh, there's
it
Kisame
kind-
with hat right there in that first episode.
Like, it kind of borderline made sense, and I zoned out for the middle. I'm trying to do that again. So I from the part where he's like sad and dead little clone to when there's like 1,000 of him, I missed all that. So the rest of it was good, but I missed that part, so that was important.
Emma, what about you?
Okay, so I came in knowing nothing because, like, yeah, I've heard them talk about it, but, I thought Caillou was an anime. It really goes over my head. I just don't listen, which I should get better about now that we have a podcast.
I've learned to zone out. No, I won't.
Well, I don't know. Basically, while I was watching it at first, I kept pausing it every now and then and being like, is this what it's going to be like? Because there were a couple cheesy things in the beginning where I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh no, this is rough. But then there were all the plot twists.
Yeah.
Just like little tiny things. I kept
Yeah.
gasping. I was like, really? And like, I get super engaged when I watch things. So like, I couldn't space out because I was like, what's going to
Yeah.
happen next? But no, honestly, it was really interesting. I was trying to watch a lot of it for like the artistic value in it because I knew that like a lot of anime has a lot of really great art and everything. So I did want to watch specifically for that.
Part,
I did appreciate that.
This episode was not spectacularly animated, but there are some episodes that actually all four of us will watch that have some stellar animation.
The animation is cool. Like, I definitely appreciate that part at least.
Yeah, so it definitely was neat, but I didn't know what to expect, and I went, oh, it's a ninja.
Yeah.
It's a ninja thing. All right, we're gonna learn about ninjas.
Also, big shout out to Toshio Masuda, who's the composer.
The music
is badass.
No, it is. Yeah, it really is. I listened for that too.
Yeah, it's what he does is he took classical Japanese instruments like the shamisen and the shakuhachi. I wrote those down.
All right.
But it's ancient Japanese instruments combined with like guitar and drums and rock and roll, which is really similar to the whole premise, which is combining this ancient Japanese with modern sensibilities.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's how you get that, the flute theme
I
with
like
the
that.
guitar
that
and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, all the music in the show is really pretty
That's
incredible. So, okay. That's the first episode.
Woo!
Yeah.
Look at that.
Typically, in after these first 7 episodes, we'll answer some questions that people send in or give people shout-outs or whatever. But obviously, we don't have any of those because this is the first episode. So, in general, though, because these first 7 episodes are being pre-recorded, if you have any questions or comments or you want a shout-out or whatever, you can reach us. We have a Gmail, a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all NaruTalkPod. You can find us.
This is news to us.
Instagram, Twitter. We have a website, Narutalk.
We have a
website. I gotta check that out.
But the best place to reach us is probably the Instagram, the Twitter, or the Gmail. It's all NaruTalkPod. NaruTalkPod@gmail.com.
Please sponsor us.
Send us sponsorship opportunities. We'll
Please.
sell out in an instant. We also probably, by the time you're listening to this, we'll have a Patreon set up. That'll be NaruTalkPod as well. If you want to throw us some money, because we want to put this on Spotify and that costs money. Yeah, and we're very poor. We go to art school.
We want to go to see the Avatar.
We're poor and we will always be poor.
Yeah.
The Avatar Park at Universal.
Yeah, send us. Yes. Oh my God, that'll be our goal on Patreon. I'll put that. That'll be the highest donor thing. It'll be come with us to Avatar. To Avatar
Not
World.
if you're too much of a weeb, though.
Yeah, some weebs excluded.
If you Naruto run, you can't come.
Right.
That's it.
If you've ever Naruto run in your life, no.
And I was thinking, if we get a lot of responses from these first 7 episodes, maybe when Emma visits, we can do like a special reader response episode of this and just sort of give people shout-outs and talk or whatever.
Get a caller to confess their love to Emma.
Oh, yeah, and then convince me to stay so I can always be on the podcast with my miscellaneous lovers.
So, next week, we're going to be doing episodes 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so we watch both 2 and 3, and then we do the podcast. Okay, great.
Yeah. We'll learn a little bit more about some of the students that we saw in the school, a little bit more about the village.
I'm pretty excited. Actually.
None of those are fillers, though, right? Like
No. We don't watch any fillers. That's actually why...
But it's 2 and 3 for real. Like, if I'm on Hulu, like, I'm watching 2 and 3?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's actually why I'm always going to say what episodes are next, because there are going to be some that we skip.
Okay.
That's good to know, yeah.
Yeah. But next week is episode 2 and 3. Wherever you're listening to this, please like, share, subscribe, whatever it is. I mean, it's not necessarily YouTube.
Give us money for Avatar World.
If it's on iTunes, give us a 5-star review. If it's on Spotify,
like.
If we couldn't
save.
get any of that,
I don't know
Promote
what you do on
us.
Spotify.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
But leave a positive response, and what should the sign out be? We need something.
Bye.
Believe it.
Yeah, have a good week.
Naruto.
Be safe, have fun. Believe it.
Yeah.
Be safe, have fun.
fun.
Believe
Believe
it!
Yay.